Good morning. Good morning once again, fellow humans. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning here in Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky, you choose. We are west of Sin City and east of Death Valley, up here in the mountains at about the height of the stratosphere. So if you go to the top of the stratosphere and look east, west, over Mount Charleston at about the same height, eye level, is Pahrumpertucky, east of Death Valley, but heading that way. Go west, young man. Right, that's the motto of people. That seems to be the motto of many people here. Go west, young man. Yes, you come to Pahrump to go to Death Valley. The Valley of Death. Okay, looking at the Funeral Mountains. Right. Okay, well, we've got a big show today. Big show. We got a really big shoe. We're going to be talking about why people with high IQs tend to get what they want. Right, but before we do that, let's have a brief disclaimer, introduction of what we're doing. We're here to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. That's it. No big deal. We're just trying to do that, help people along. And the best way to help people move forward is to show up every day. Not because of what the content is, not because of what's on here, but because of getting in the habit of creating better habits. If you just make it part of your daily routine to log on to this thing, show I'm here, and then leave, that is a step in the right direction. Because who knows, maybe one day you'll hear something in that brief little time you've logged on to get you to listen to it for a little while, but you keep showing up. You keep showing up with the attitude of, I want to create better habits. I want to create discipline. I want to do the things that successful people do. Right. So that's the most important thing, is just showing up. It's the most important thing in life, just showing up, because you never know what's going to happen. There's always this thing called the unintended consequences. And if you just are sitting in your room, you're not going to be exposed to many unintended consequences. It's pretty much going to be the same old boring life if you're just sitting in your room. And the key words there are just sitting in your room or lying on your bed, as opposed to what I typically do is I sit here and I work, I study, I do stuff. So we're here to help our students and other people on their journey through this life. And this life is a journey. There is a destination. That's where we go when we are dead, is to the destination we have been traveling towards. The second best thing to do is to participate. Show up and participate. Show up, participate actively, participate by getting other people to watch. Those are the things to do. The ultimate, where's the beef? The beef is in the worksheet. Right, that's how we really help people, is the worksheet. You don't need to watch the video to get the worksheet. You can get the worksheet on LinkedIn, Facebook, our website, down below. A lot of places to get the daily worksheet. That's where the guts are. That's where we have the experts talking about how to move through this journey in 4 different ways: physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, so that's it. That's our introduction. The meme of today, again, is why smart people get what they want. We got to change that into a question. Why do smart people get what they want? Why do smart people get what they want? And that's tend. It's not always. There is the unexpected. But why do smart people tend to get? And yesterday would be a great example of that. Last night, the town hall meeting really crystallized IQ and why smart people get what they want. But let's go down below and look, see if we've got any other red letter things. Aha! Advice from an 80-year-old. Think twice before burdening a friend with a secret. Think twice before burdening a friend with a secret. Why? Because now your friend has the burden of keeping it a secret. So if you really like somebody, don't feel you need to fill them in on secrets because now they have the burden of keeping it. Okay, cool. Seth Godin, red letter from Seth Godin. Important problem. So he's got a grid, X, Y coordinates. Each section is labeled, well, let's see, I think it's simple, complicated. So tasks are simple or complicated. They're either difficult or they're easy. Simple, complicated, difficult, easy. Where have I seen that kind of combination? And if it's simple and easy, it's a trivial problem. It's a trivial problem if it's simple and easy. If it's simple and difficult, it's probably important. Okay, it's a simple thing, simple problem, but it's difficult to solve, so it's probably important. Now down below, we have the complicated. It's complicated, but it's easy, so it's tempting. Solving problems, solving little games. They're complicated, but they're easy. So we keep doing it. And then over here is the difficult and complicated. It's unlikely that you're going to solve it. If it's difficult and complicated, unlikely that you're going to solve it. If it's difficult and simple, it's probably important. So now let's apply IQ to this, where your IQ is, because if you have an average IQ, a problem to an average IQ person might appear complicated and difficult, but to somebody with a higher IQ, it moves more towards the simple and easy. So for example, if you have an IQ of 100 and you have to do brain surgery, where you have to land the plane because the pilot had a heart attack on a little Cessna, that for you is probably too difficult and too complicated. Whereas if you're somebody who's a brain surgeon and you've got somebody to talk you through it or not, it becomes less complicated and less difficult. So as your IQ goes up, things become simpler and less complicated. Okay, so imagine you're people that are smart and you want to get what you want from people who are less smart. You figure out a plan using the rules of the game on how to get what you want. People with a low IQ, below average, they don't really know what's going on. They don't know they're dealing with people who are way smarter than themselves and that they really don't have a chance. That the people who are smart and have a high IQ, they've stacked all the dominoes. So the people who are, let's say, maybe 2 standard deviations lower in IQ, they don't really understand the game. The only way they can win is by cheating. And then they come away very frustrated because it's, well, why did we even play? We had no chance of winning. They thought they were going to win, but they didn't really consider who they were dealing with. So let's say you have a town hall set up by people who are really smart, and they invite the town to come to the meeting. Generally, who comes are the people who have below average, because they think what they have to say, they think their beliefs matter. So they're going to show up, and they're going to get trounced because they're going to find out what they thought was going on isn't going on. And by the time they figure out what's happening, the smart people are already 2 steps ahead. So they go away frustrated. The people who have a slightly higher IQ, they don't bother to show up because they get, what's the point? What's the point? I'm just going to get upset. What's the point? Then you have the people with a IQ that's close to or equal to the people who set it up. And they too say, there's no point going. There's no point going. I'm not going to show up. So that's like your county, your elected officials and city managers. Their IQ is high enough, but they understand what's happening here. So they don't want to go because the people with the lower IQ are going to be getting frustrated and not be able to articulate and look like people with unclean spirits. Or the people who know what's going on, the smart people who are setting this up, they're just going along as people, as the lower people are showing their, in quotes, true colors. So the people who really should be showing up, people who are against the idea, don't show up because they really don't want to be aligned with the people who have the lower IQ. Unfortunately, if there were people who were opposed and had an IQ higher than the people who were doing it, that would have been their opportunity to show up, because they would have rallied the people down below, and they would have come up with a way of, how can I get the people down here, the people with the lower IQ, how can I lead them so that they can get what they want, but they don't know how to get it other than coming out with the pitchforks and cheating or cheating. Well, that would be cheating. So last night, town hall meeting, in quotes, set up by smart people who have good intent, goodwill, who want to make things better. The people opposed are the people with the lower IQ, or maybe some higher IQ, 2 deviations lower, are the mass of the people. There could be people with 1 standard deviation lower who show up, but they just are observed. They aren't going to get up there and be associated with the pitchfork people. And then you have other people who are supportive, who have an high IQ, who are supportive, and they're just there for support, to boost the ego, or to give moral support, to give support to the people who have good intent that are smart. At the town hall meeting, you generally don't have people with 1 standard IQ lower getting up and saying anything, or even showing up, because they don't want to be on the side of the rabble rousers. So on one side, the people that are the proponents are the smart people. The opponents are the not smart people. I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm not saying they're not dumb, but I'm not saying they're dumb. But these are the ones that get up and rabble rouse, and they really don't understand. This is an opportunity for them to vent. The smart people are letting the people vent. That's what they're doing, getting their emotions out, being heard, but it doesn't really matter. It just doesn't matter what they think, because the only way they're going to win is if they cheat. And the really, really smart people are expecting that they're going to try to cheat, so they anticipate it. So you got to figure out, what is your IQ? Where are you on this spectrum? If you are opposed to something and you have a low IQ, try to learn. That's the best advice. Learn. Don't pull out the pitchfork, because the 4th law of power, here's an example of the 4th law of power. Fairness only occurs between equals. The strong get what they want, the weak suffer what they must. Now, we can probably, in this case, change the word strong for smart. Fairness only occurs between equals. The smart do what they want, and the dumb suffer what they must. Okay, so if you have an IQ that's not in the ballpark of the people who are your opponents, don't waste your time trying to fight them directly. The only way you're going to win is by cheating. You might as well join them. If you have a IQ that's one standard deviation lower, go to learn, go to observe. Maybe you can learn something. So when you want to be the proponent, you have an idea of what you need to do. Learn how the smart people think. Get respect for the people who are smart and understand the fourth law of power. Try to do that. Well, it wasn't frustrating, and I had the distinct honor of being recognized twice on two different occasions there by the pitchfork people as somebody. I was called out by two different pitchfork people, and I have nothing to do with it. I'm not part of the thing. I'm one of the people going for moral support, to give support to the people doing it, because it is a good idea. It is the right thing. It is the Christian thing to do. So I'm there for support. And two times, my name, I was called out. And one of the times, or both of the times, another one of the pitchfork people, you're bad, you're evil, you're a liar, you lie. And and then I got a text from one of them afterwards, and my response to that person was, now knowing that what I respond to that person will be shared with the other pitchfork people in the group, so I can't defend myself. There's not really any point ignoring it. The person's acting in good conscience, but they are not known for having a high IQ, not dumb, very diligent, good person, somebody I really like and admire and appreciate. So my answer was, well, to riff on Alan Greenspan, in quotes, I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not reality. And that was my words. I added reality. He said what I meant, but I put in, it's not reality. And then I send. Next one, I think it was a great opportunity for everyone to air their concerns. So now that one is going to be shared, and the people with the lower IQ aren't going to get the humor in it. And they're going to try to dissect what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is, let's keep it light. Not really a big deal. The second one puts it out there. This was a chance to air our concerns. That's it. Not a big deal. Okay, so we're 19 minutes in. We got to do it. So know when you go into a thing like this, know your tribe. Oh, last thing I want to say is on the worksheet down below, to give a little bit of meat to this, give a little bit of chewiness, I added an infographic, average IQ by state. Average is 100. So Pittsburgh, or Pennsylvania, average IQ is 101.5, slightly above average. Nevada, fifth from the bottom, 96.5. So the average IQ in Nevada is less than 100. It's less than average. Not good. And that's for the whole state. So that includes the people in Clark County that probably have an IQ of higher than 100. So the average IQ in Nye County could be 95. The average IQ of the people in the room was probably average, probably around 100, but the pitchfork people were probably right around 95 whereas the people of goodwill and intent, the proponents, probably had an IQ of more than 120, more than 125, say. So you've got, that could be almost 2.5 standard deviations lower. So that means the people down here don't really understand what's going on with these people, what they're trying to do. They're trying to communicate. They have no way of, they don't understand what's going on. All they can do is their limited thing, and evidence of their challenges is the fact that they don't even know what they don't know. They don't understand that they're dealing with people who have an IQ that is beyond where they can have conversations at this level, 130 IQ, having 130 IQ discussion. Somebody with a 95 IQ doesn't know what's going on. It's like a brain surgeon talking about brain surgery on the level of a brain surgeon, not dumbing it down, or a lawyer talking about complex legal issues, or a university professor talking about something graduate level, talking at that level. These people don't know what's going on. So know where you are. Time is racing. Time is up. My apologies again, people. Glad that you stayed for it. Watch the thing. Hasta la vista, etc.